guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Fazaka Jane Cosplay, and today we are back at you guys with To Your Eternity, episode 9.
Yeah, we finished last week's discussion quite quickly because of our cat, but last episode, Gugu learned that when he almost died, the old man that saved him also transformed him into some sort of alcohol barrel or something. Like he's got alcohol in his body, fermenting. That's fucked up.
It
just confirmed to him that he was even more of a monster than he even thought. So he ran away, and no one wanted to go after him. Well, Fushi did not want to go after him because he's afraid of the forest, and the others, well, one of them is too busy, and the others, they don't have that connection, you know?
Yeah.
So he basically spent the entire episode trying to survive on his own with the mask, and people judged him, and then without the mask, and people judged him.
And he saw his brother back.
He was barely surviving. He was basically dying of hunger. And instead of leaving him like that, he gave him the ring that Reen gave him. And I mean, one of the reasons why he did that was because he didn't see a future for himself as a monster, you know? And he knew his brother perhaps would have that chance, having a future that works out with that ring. So he gave him the ring, but at least he severed that tie. Like, I don't consider you my brother, so that's cool. Then he went back home, and he, still trying to keep that positive attitude that he always has, which makes him the best character so far, I gotta say. Trying to train in order to get rid of that bulge he's got on his in his belly and stuff. Which, I mean, if there's alcohol and stuff in there, that's not gonna go away.
No wonder, yeah.
But still, he almost got kidnapped for, so they wanted to sell him, I think, as a freak somewhere. And Fushi managed to conquer his fear, and he showed up to save him.
Yay!
Because he's the kid that teaches him. He needs Gugu to learn.
And Gugu find his new brother.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah. I'd rather have that, because that older brother of his did not deserve him. Basically, no one deserves him. He's too perfect. So hopefully we can get that thing out of his body. I hope so. And we'll have a more joyful episode when it comes to Gugu, because last episode was rough. So yeah, let's jump in this episode, see what they have in store for us. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to know when these episodes come out, and check out our Patreon for the full reactions.
Okay, so let's watch it. I really hope that's gonna keep the mask off. Please.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh no, not again.
The creator is saying that Fushi has not, gathered anything useful. I'm like, well, we beat it last time, and now we know, so we can be more careful. But maybe that enemy is also improving, It's learning from...
I'm surprised if he did not learn from what he went through in the first place.
Yeah. But we have a friend with us, so maybe everything is gonna be okay. And we don't have March this time, so we'll have to make do with the others.
With the Fushi... With the
Fushi,
the boy, the wolf, and the bear, yeah.
Yeah, well, it sounds like the name of a novel. The boy, the wolf, and the bear.
Yeah, but now Fushi knows that he can create its stuff, like the spear, the knife, food to throw at it if he wants.
Yeah, and like, it's the same enemy, but we destroyed the last enemy. So does it have one conscience, or is it multiple?
I think it might be multiple.
But then, how do you learn from past attacks? When it comes to Fushi.
I don't know.
So much to learn about this creature. But yeah, we'll focus on that more next episode. There's one thing I wanted to say, though, between Reen and Gugu. The connection is, I think, in the end, both of them without masks, the face that they have behind the mask could lead to a way of life that is miserable, for different reasons. And, they don't necessarily understand each other's circumstances, but her face brings her right back to that mansion or whatever where they treat her like a toy, which I understand. I've seen, movies about the same situation. I've read stories and stuff, and I can imagine what it feels like to have people, rule every single part of your life. And her face without the mask brings her there. So it's not that she's ashamed of her face like he is, but her face leads her to something that she can't live with. It's not a nice life for her. Whereas same for him, his face leads him to being judged and treated like a monster. So both of them find safety behind a mask. So they connected in a bit, in that way at the end.
It is also true that, yes, different experience doesn't mean that you're gonna feel the same. Like for her, that wound was
Terrible.
That her life was terrible compared to what he went through.
She comes from a family that everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect hair. You want to learn something, a skill. We'll hire a teacher. Perfect skill. It's all about being perfect because you have to be the face of the family. So yeah, that wound is a lot for her.
But you cannot really compare to what she went through and what he went through because those are completely different experience. You might say that yes, but his wound are a lot worse than hers.
As an outsider, we can definitely judge.
Yes, but we should not minimize our feelings about
exactly. That's the thing. We can say his wounds are worse.
Yes,
but
definitely.
But we can't erase how she feels about it, which is kind of what he was saying, like calling her idiot and stuff, and being like, what, that's it? Only because it's something you can do though, like trying to make someone understand that your circumstances were not that bad compared to what's happening around, but dismissing her feelings is bad because you were not in her shoes. Same as she I don't think she ever dismissed his feelings, but she tried to force him to show his face instead of understanding why he wouldn't. And I said it last episode, and she eventually did that step about how in order to make that connection with him, in order to be a good person when it comes to how he is, yes, seeing his face and the initial shock and accepting it is a thing, and I personally think that if they spend a lot of time together, eventually maybe it's the thing he will show her, but it should be on his time, on his terms, when he wants it, because it's his life, it's his face, and it's his feelings.
Don't force him to show his face if he's not ready.
Yeah, and I love that she got that in the end, giving him the opportunity, like, okay, if you don't want to show me your face, it's fine, I'll still accept you because you're still you. And I love that because they did not have a connection before. She focused on Fushi more, and now we literally got to talk.
They might become friends by the end.
Good friends.
That's nice.
He might have his crush eventually. I love it. I love it.
Might.
And it's important because we meet people, he was wondering why no one went after them. And we were like, oh, she didn't go either. Now we kind of know. And going into town would mean that, it was the thing about, there's nothing that I could say that would make him come back, but there's also the fear of if I go into town,
I'm gonna be recognized and brought back home.
Exactly. But she still went, and he was saying, oh, Fushi came back, you care and stuff, but you're the only one, so there's no reason for me to go back. But then she comes along. Still, he hates what the old man did to him, and I think I can understand maybe when he said, oh, I don't care about my circumstances anymore, how I got where I am. Again, it's kind of like saying, your circumstances are your own, and to other people, they might not matter as much. So what if you got an accident? There are people dying, of hunger and stuff like that. It's something that, I have my circumstances and they're difficult, but I'm dealing with them just like you have your circumstances.
Yeah.
And if I stay angry, I'm going to basically force my friends to live here with me, and that's putting them in danger. So there are bigger things out there to focus on. Yes, he is a piece of shit, that old man. What he did to him is fucked up. But at least he says he can take that thing out of him.
For free.
Yeah. The fact that he even thought of making him... Yeah, exactly. It should be implied. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, that kid... We got a bunch of really good characters, like March was a good character.
Bellona was cool too.
Bellona.
And Fushi being the best.
Fushi's learning.
Yeah.
He's a blank space. But yeah, for Gugu, that kid, with what he went through, he could have become bitter, resentful, but he's keeping his good heart, he's keeping his hopes up. And yeah, right now it might be one of my favorite in that show for now.
I think Fushi is... I did not really care for the orb, at first. I was like, well, I'll meet other characters with a personality. But as he's getting into his own personality, as he's acting, like seeing him run away from the tent, being like, oh, go get it! He is so cute. He is so cute because he's innocent. So I think Fushi takes the first spot for me, but then this kid, as a human being, is like the best human you can ever find in this show so far. And we met March.
We've met March.
We've met March.
Yeah.
Who was a cinnamon bun. And then we get this kid. Wow. It's a good thing that the people that Fushi met were such nice people, because he's learning from this. If he had met,
good role models,
imagine if he had met, his first human, if his first human was a terrible person, that's how terrible Fushi could have become. The stuff he could have learned that was horrible. Jeez.
I really love the fact that to distract the woman, he transformed into March and throws himself on her.
But he's learning. He's learning, how certain actions create certain reactions and stuff. Like that's all part of his journey, and I'm loving this. Like, we just learned that now, he didn't understand how his powers work, but now he understands that if he can recall something he touched before or he interacted with, he can also bring that back. It's like learning to use a power or an ability, which is fine, because in so many movies and TV shows, you get a character who suddenly gets a power and they know how to use it right away. Mm-hmm. With him, it's not only a power, it's his whole being. He doesn't know how, he doesn't know how he works. So we're slowly learning as he's learning, and that makes it easy for us to keep up, and it's just it's cool to see him achieve little things like this.
Yes, it is.
If he had started as, an ultimate immortal being that knows already how to fight, how to, eat, how to interact, and how to create, he wouldn't be
as charming as he is right now.
Exactly. He would be like the creator. Like, we don't care about the creator.
No.
And he doesn't care about the creator either. He's throwing fruits at him. Anyway.
So that's it for episode 9.
We're going to have a fight next episode, and hopefully we can do that without losing anyone.
I do not want Gugu to die in this fight, nor Fushi.
This whole conversation about, when I die, please transform into me. I'm like, fuck no.
No.
Fuck no. It's way too early for that shit. I don't want, he could die during that fight trying to save Fushi, and then Fushi transforms and he gets something new. I'm like, no, fuck off. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't want to, the next one will be out on YouTube next week, guys. So stay tuned and see you then.
Bye.
Bye, guys.